I wanted to talk about something real quick, and it's basically a question. And basically, is humanity even needed? Is humanity even needed? What's the purpose for humanity still existing? What would be the purpose? As we see where society has already gone as a whole. Okay, we see how messy it is, how people hold on to a lot of very, very negative things. One main one being racism, right? And I'm talking about brown people and all other groups of people, colorism. Okay, people like to hold on to all kind of, I would say, political type of stuff. Just hold on to a lot of what is the need for humanity? Why do people really think they exist? I mean, I don't think people exist anymore, but we see what look like people that's not really people any longer anyway. Honestly, I said this before, what we're watching is people are just on automation. They're not real any longer. Basically robots. Okay, most people are not going to be connected to their expanded self, or their true self. Okay. And then you look at what happened in 2020 when a lot of stuff was pushed out. Okay, and how people around most people around the world, how they kind of just go along with whatever to get whatever they need. They just go along with whatever. And it's almost like putting a strain on the people who are not for the bull, putting a strain on people who's not going for it. You put a strain on them to make them seem like they're the oddball, to make them seem like they're crazy. And that's done on purpose, creating a hive mind. And I realized that what we see as people and the things that they do and what society does is a symptom of a much larger problem. But the problem is that this symptom that's going on to society it really doesn't look like they're going to get any better. And it's almost like at this point I want to say it's no hope for them to get better, because it's already too late. A lot of them are just not interested in being any different, doing anything different. This is not really a world where you just kind of, okay, I'm just here, whatever. I don't know why. I don't know if people really get why they are here. Okay, this has really been a game. It's a virtual reality. The way I keep being shown to me, and it's a game. And it's a certain level as humanity, because people are one. Even though we have to live like we're not one, definitely people are connected, but everything is connected. That's why I'm so against having to pay bills and having to pay for everything and having to struggle and all that stuff, because that creates people to be competitive, people to be cutthroat. So the need for money and paying bills and even greed has caused a lot of issues. But it seems like it's up to society to release that, though. I realize that you have other controllers at hand, but it's up to society to decide if they don't want that kind of life anymore. And society seems to keep wanting this to stay in place. They don't want to do anything different. As much as they might want to complain, and doing something different don't necessarily mean getting out marching and trying to fight somebody physically and do all that stuff. It can be spiritually, working on their spiritual self. And it doesn't seem like they are interested in really wanting things to change, right? So there's been talks about how there's going to be a split and stuff like that, but I don't really think it's just going to be a split. I think everything is going to be just completely destroyed. Okay, everything's going to be completely destroyed, because this whole thing that's been put in place was kind of evil from the jump. This whole virtual reality that was put in place, we're in a virtual reality, even though we think we really live in a real life, it's really false. It was evil from the start. Completely evil from the start, and completely against the feminine from the start. I don't know about from the start, but completely against the feminine. Okay, completely against the mother. Which way do I go? Oh, I'm looking. Oh, okay. Yeah. Completely against the mother from the start. So anyway, so yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. You know, and you know, when you look at people don't really like the truth. People don't, let me say, people don't care about the truth. Okay, people don't care about the truth. You can't even hardly talk to anybody. Like, I have an example of a family member who, because she wants me to have a relationship with another family member of mine, regardless of what I said this person has done to try to set me up for some real danger, regardless of what I said to her that this family member has done, it's almost like her wishes are for us to be close. Okay? And that's like somebody and it's not like they respect what I'm saying, but it's almost like they don't, you know, they might not see the big deal, or the things I say, they might think I'm not really telling the truth. They might think I'm kind of making things up. Okay? People have a bad habit of not really seeing with the spiritual eye, or just not really seeing. Period. They don't. It's too much. It's just too much. Like, it's too much you can't say to people. It's too much you can't say. A lot of people have to suffer in silence, or struggle in silence, or whatever you call it. You can't really express what's really going on, because it's so many people you just really can't have a conversation with. I don't know. You know, I'm going to use an example. I did a video on this a while ago, like electronic harassment. Everything is electronic harassment, though. A lot of people who are aware of it know they're suffering from getting gang stalking, and a lot of the harassment from controllers and people who really are controlling that mental realm. Okay, people have talked about different experiences. Okay, and I've dealt with things too that I can't even still to this day. I can't have a conversation with anybody. It's been over a year, and I still cannot have a conversation with anybody. I haven't talked to my family in a long time, and I had to make up something. Why? Because I can't have a conversation with them about what's really happening. You can't even talk to anybody. You can't talk to them. Okay? So I don't understand what's the point. And then people are let me just say, people do a lot of nasty things to each other. People do a lot of nasty things to each other. Okay? People can be very negative towards one another. Okay? So, I'm just saying, with all that being said, when it was COVID, I wasn't working in the SNFs, the healthcare facilities. I didn't want to work in there. So I was just doing a little bit of stuff on the side, like maybe some Lyft on the side. And I was doing like home health, but I wasn't getting paid as much as I was as if I was working in a skilled nursing facility. So I was doing Lyft on the side too. And during that time, during that pandemic, during 2020, 2021, I promise you, every time I went somewhere, just about every time I went somewhere and I wanted to use the bathrooms were closed down. And it wasn't like they were told, like it was mandated for them to close the bathrooms down. They chose to close it down. People have so much fear on them. And it's almost like when they decided to kind of lift the mandates, then people's fear kind of went away. Okay, their fear went away. They open up the back. It's like it's like they just go along with the wind. They go with the wind. They flow with the wind. They don't have anything. It's nothing. There's nothing about them. They just, you know what I mean? Nobody cares that you don't wear a mask anymore. Nobody cares. But during that time, 2021, and stuff like that, maybe 2022, and in a lot of places, you go without a mask and people think you're crazy. People think that you're just spreading your germs and stuff. But now that nobody's really talking about, nobody's really caring about COVID anymore, it's all like, okay, it's all that particular scare is gone and people ain't looking at you like you're crazy because you ain't got on a mask. Well, what's the difference? If it was required that I had on a mask when I went into a certain restaurant or a certain place, then what's the difference now? Because the shit is still, whatever's going around then is still going around now. So what's the difference? The difference is media is not pushing it the way it used to. That's the difference. They're not making it a big deal in media like they used to. See, people, there's no need. There's no need for humanity. There's no need. Okay, there's no need. People want to save humanity, want to help humanity. Humanity has to help themselves, though. Humanity has to help themselves. And honestly, you're not supposed to stay in a human type of state forever. But there are controllers that I'm saying that control the mental realm, okay, that's been in a certain supremacy, that they don't want people to elevate out of it because that means that they no longer stay in a position of power, okay? But at the same time, they're not going to be able to move out the way as long as you have a society or humanity that is not willing for them to move out the way, okay? Or just going to be complacent. So then what has to happen? This is just me. I don't know. What has to happen is you got to get rid of humanity. Humanity, it seems to be holding on to these entities that don't want to release their power. Right? And they are the reason behind all this suffering because of greed, all this sickness going on, all this stuff is because of their greed. It's really literally electronic harassment. I was listening to, this was like maybe a couple of years ago. And I was listening to this, like the video about electronic harassment and talking about jamming, like electronic jamming. And it was this woodpecker sound. It was on YouTube. It's like a woodpecker sound. And I was reading the notes. I was reading the comments under that video. And one person said that she was getting all this headaches. She used to have headaches all the time. And when she listened to that woodpecker sound, that video, her headaches went away. See, that's what does let you know that that's electronic harassment. Even having those headaches is electronic harassment. They are controlling the mental realm to cause people to be sick, okay, because they're greedy for money. So when these medicine men, medicine women, or whatever, like who, Sabi and stuff like. I don't want to just call his name, and so many other people like him, right? Those people they get taken care of, okay? They get taken care of because when they come up with this natural stuff that you can do to heal yourself, and they talk about how the body can actually heal itself, they taking money out folks' pockets. They purposely make people sick so this shit can happen, okay? I realize there's some people who don't get sick, but I'm just saying, a lot of stuff that's going on with people is electronic harassment. And some people just get harassed really, really badly, and then you can't even talk to anybody about it. You can't talk to anybody about too much. You have to almost be normal, or you have to talk about something that a lot of people has already experienced. Okay, like for example, like maybe domestic violence, maybe even sexual abuse, something that people know about. But when I talk about, I'm dealing with somebody, I'm dealing with these things, this electronic harassment, they messing with my mental, and I know they doing it. They sitting behind these controllers because they controlling consciousness, and they fucking with certain people that they target. And I say this is stuff like this to certain people, they just don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. You can't even hardly talk to nobody. I honestly don't have a need for humanity. I don't. I really don't. Humanity, to be honest with you, to people who are tired of this type of existence, the physical type of existence, when you're connected, when you're one like that, and then you under a consciousness, or you're around a bunch of people of consciousness that are low in consciousness, and they're for the most part they're complacent, and you're about one of the only few people that's not complacent and they want to rise up higher, that makes it harder for you because you're connected, okay? So in order for some people, unless you're going to get a passport, and especially if you're United States of America, unless you're going to get a passport and move somewhere, like certain parts of Tibet or certain places like that where they are high in consciousness, Like they're really high. Like they're really interested in getting out of a physical type of program. Okay, you know, unless you're that, it's hard to be around a consciousness where people they're not interested in any kind of change. Okay, and this type, to be honest with you, humanity, they weren't supposed to last like this forever. This literally is the end of humanity. Humanity had an expiration date. Let me just say that. Humanity had an expiration date, and they are complacent. So they're really not even humans any longer. Honestly, they're not even humans any longer. Okay? People have been robots for a long time, and they don't realize it. So, yeah. Okay? But that's all I felt like saying. And that's it, and I'll talk later.